Hey everyone, I wanted to give you a quick update on what's happened the last week and a half since I last checked in with you guys. The last video, I mentioned that I was having surgery in California. I had chose a hospital there, UC San Diego Health, and so we're excited about that choice. We've had some excitement since the last video as well, and that is because I had a scheduled yearly with my doctor here in Augusta. And so I took Laura along with me, thank goodness, and we went in to see the doctor, and I had turned in my blood results 2 days prior, and he's looking at those and he's like, Scott, you know, you're borderline cholesterol, you're kind of borderline blood pressure, which I've kind of known that over the last couple of years. And he says, you know, probably diet and exercise is something we need to focus on more. And then I said, oh yeah, I forgot, I have a calcium score test that I had done about 3 weeks ago that I wanted to show you. And so this doctor that I go to, he's very laid back, not very excitable at all. And when I give him this calcium score test, what it shows is it shows 4 different arteries that lead to your heart or come out of your heart, whichever way it is. And they score them based on the calcium content of each artery. And the first 2 were 0, which was great, which included the Widowmaker, by the way. And then the other one was like 13.4, but the 4th one, the right ventricle, I think it was that not it? What was it? Right coronary artery was 214. And so he's like, Scott, this kind of concerns me. I really want us to focus on your heart right now, and I want to send you to a cardiologist, and I want us to kind of look at this more closely. So I was like, oh, great. So he said, I'm going to put you on some blood pressure medicine. I mentioned to him that I've been very fatigued, very tired over the last 2 years. And he said, okay. He said, why don't we order a sleep study for that? So I do have a sleep study coming for that. And so after about 4 things, he's like, is there anything else we can help you with? And I'm like, other than these things, I think I'm fine. And so anyway, what really worked out was he put a call in to a cardiologist, and I was able to see one this morning, and it went really well. They did an EKG, and the EKG looked perfect from what the doctor said. And she was able to also look at the images from the calcium score test. And she said, Scott, you've got some buildup. I don't think it's going to be something major. She said, but anytime there's a calcium score of over 200 in one of your arteries, we do want to do a stress test. And so I said, okay, that's fine. She said, I also want to do some more blood work just to kind of drill down a little bit further about the type of, I guess, problems you're having with the calcium. Sometimes they can tell through blood if it's more hereditary versus what I'm eating, those type of things. It gets too involved for me to know. But I'm gonna have some more blood work done and get the results back on that. So at this point, I've been waiting to hear from my doctor at UC San Diego Health about a time for surgery. And when I was on the phone with the doctor, I guess this was 2 Mondays ago, he had mentioned that he would like to get me in before the end of the year, that he thought that was possible. And then when I got a call from the scheduler, when she called me about scheduling the surgery, she said, we're scheduling for January. And I was like, well, you know, the doctor had mentioned there was a possibility about getting in before the end of the year. That would help us with our deductible and things of that nature. And so she said, Scott, I'm gonna have to call you back and kind of figure this out. So I talked to one of my navigators from the hospital today, and she said, Scott, here's an update. We're having to borrow some time from another specialty to try to get you in 2025. She said, if there's a specialty that operates within the same hospital with us, if they're not having surgery, we could borrow that time and have it. Because usually they do surgeries for this type of tumor on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And so she said, hopefully in the next week or so, we'll be able to call you back. You're on our radar. We're trying to get you in. So just pray that if God wants me to have surgery in 2025, that that's something they can fit in. If not, then of course we'll go to 2026. And get it done then. We want the Lord's will in that. I don't want to run ahead or lag behind either way. So just pray for that. But I've got my sleep study coming in the mail. They now do sleep studies in your own home, which is pretty cool. So that'll be good. I start my blood pressure medicine today. And at this point, no cholesterol medicine until they do the other blood test and have the stress test done. So I just want to thank everybody again. Continue to pray for me. I want to give you an update. I know people are like, why have you scheduled the surgery? Kind of give you an update of where that's at. And hopefully in the next week or two, I'll be able to give you a date. We'll kind of know that. And hopefully by then as well, we might know a little bit more about the heart, the stress test, and make sure nothing is really wrong with that. But she said, your weight's good, your BMI is good, you don't have to lose weight. I'm like, wow, this is phenomenal. So those are a lot of good news that were really good to hear today. And we'll find out more as the weeks progress. Thank y'all.